forgot what I was doing. Good morning, beloveds. I'm having a bit of an odd morning. So last Saturday, my partner comes home sneezing with a head cold. We're careful. And I'm like, by the time we get to Thursday, or I guess Wednesday, I'm like, okay, I think I'm in the clear. I think I'm going to get, yeah. Sorry about that. Wednesday I come home from work and my throat's a little sore and I'm like, oh. Thursday I get up and I'm like, I don't feel bad. I go to work, but I go ahead and let my boss know, hey, you know what? This is what's going on. And he says, okay. And so he takes care of a couple of things, waits for one of my other coworkers to come in. He runs an errand. He comes back and he says, go home. Okay. So I called him this morning. I said, the good news is my throat's not sore anymore, but my nose is still dripping. And he says, well, stay home. We'll see you Monday. Okay. I don't work on Saturday or Sunday. Well, for him. I do work on Sunday, but for you guys. So here we are. It's just up in my sinuses. That's it. It's not down in my chest. It's not, but, I work in a health food store and now fortunately she's on vacation. The owner of the store has no immune system whatsoever. So, I wouldn't have even risked going to work on Thursday knowing if she had been there. But, yeah, it was just, are you kidding me? So, and honestly, I don't feel bad. I'm just, I don't want my coworkers to get it. So, yeah. So if I'm a little distracted today, yeah. Okay. Living the Science of Mind. We have 13 essays left. 13 essays left. Now, from here, we're going to go to this one. Because from what I understand about this one, now how I'm going to do it, I don't know. I'll just probably pick, because this is a collection of some of the smaller books. So we'll figure it out. I'll figure it out and we'll go from there. But, that's the one I'm going to do next, just because I found it in the bookshelf and went, oh, this is interesting. So in about 2 weeks, we're going to start that one. Oh, all right. So let's do the housekeeping first while I'm still thinking clearly. And all the housekeeping is me reminding you that we are Creative Life Spiritual Center. Trying to pop my ears. The website is creativelife.org. The email, Constant Contact. Okay. Constant Contact is an email service. I don't know if I've ever said that, but it is. And it's the one we use. So if you will email info@creativelife.org, we will put you on the Constant Contact list. You get one email a week, and it tells you what's going on for the week and the month, and the hot links are hot. If it says click here now, it means it'll take you right to the information you want and the person who can help you get it. Now, the emails are still done by a real person. He does not have time to do more than one, but we do live in hurricane country, so occasionally you might get more than one. It's only if something happens. So, sometimes if there's a prayer request, sometimes if there's a memorial, sometimes if there's a hurricane. So that's where we're at. And one of the things about Constant Contact, blind CC. Okay. What that means is nobody will see your email. So no, you're not going to end up on anybody else's email list because of us. They can't see your email. So, something on my shirt. Yeah, I'm really distracted today. All right. So that is that. And then the last one, I'm going to mention the social media. And I mention it merely because we do not monetize it. We don't give them money. We don't ask you to give them money. We don't ask you to give us money through them. So what we ask you to do instead to help bump us in the algorithms is engage with our pages. Like, follow, subscribe. Based on which platform you're on, that will, and if you allow notifications, it'll let you know, like when we upload a new video or when we go live, okay? And then engage with the individual posts. Feel free to react to them. Use any and all of the reacts that you want to. And And then, oh, wow. I'm going to do this. I got this. Share and comment on the post. That's it. It will bump us in the algorithm. They'll think, oh, more people should see this stuff because people like this. Okay. Yes. So that's what we're asking for. We are Creative Life Spiritual Center or Creative Life Spark, depending on which social media you are on. And I'm the running Rev Ryan on the social medias that I am on. So if you could do that for me, that would be great too. Okay. Not that all the information is basically the same. So, okay. I think that's everything. So today, in the living, I've started calling this the FAQ, frequently asked questions, because that's exactly what it is. People came to the lectures, people read this textbook, and then they had questions. So he wrote essays, which the essays, I think, eventually became they did become the take-home course. Because it was in the back of the Science of Mind magazine for a very long time. You could email, or you could mail off for it, and they would mail you a lesson a week for 48 weeks. It is now available. It took 6 books to bind it. It's like lesson 1 through for all 48. And I think it's called Change Your Thinking, Change Your Life. The lessons. Go to the Science of Mind website. No, Science of Mind Archives website. Go to where they have books available and go to, they will have an Amazon link. So you're still going to buy it from Amazon, but if you use the Archives Amazon link, the Archives will get some of the money. So it's a worthy organization, and then you're not giving all the money to Amazon. I have my own issues there. So, frequently asked questions. That's what I think this book is. I think people had questions, and he answered them. And that became a take-home course, and then eventually, this book. All right. I'm starting to be concerned about how long my voice is going to last, so let's do this. All right. The divine givingness. It is the nature of spirit to give. Spirit is the essence of life as well as the intelligence back of everything. It is complete and perfect within itself. It is all powerful and all presence. We have nothing to offer nature other than a willingness to cooperate with the laws. If we are to demonstrate that the divine givingness is a principle in the universe, then we must set up a receiving center, for no matter how abundantly the horn of plenty may pour out its universal gifts, there must be a bowl of acceptance, a chalice of expectancy, or the gift cannot be complete. The divine givingness is from eternity to eternity. Our receivingness may be spasmodic, but many great souls have, through faith, reached back of the appearance to the cause of things and received directly and constantly from the divine bounty. The reason we do not all do this is because we do not believe there is a divine givingness. I've read this one before. There are plenty of pencil marks in here. But we have this term called hardball metaphysics. Like Emma Curtis Hopkins practiced hardball metaphysics. That is what he's talking about here. The reason we do not all do this is because we do not believe that there is a divine givingness. Basically, we don't practice hardball metaphysics. We practice softball metaphysics, and this is not a judgment on whether or not which game is easier. It's just occasionally we believe enough, and we get it, but we don't believe enough all the time. So if we practice hardball metaphysics, we would walk through the world differently. So that's what he's talking about. The Spirit not only gives, but it also creates the channel through which this giving may become our receiving. In other words, the bowl of acceptance, which we hold beneath the outpouring horn of plenty, is itself a part of the divine givingness. For how could there be a givingness unless there was an equal receivingness? It is receivingness that fulfills the givingness, and the interaction is complete only when our bowl of acceptance is full. We need have no sense of unworthiness, nor should we fall under the illusion that it is spiritual to be poor. And that right there, no. That one makes me angry. That one makes me angry. When churches are talking about how spiritual it is to be poor. No, it's not. Oh, that is just a misuse of, or equally wrong thought that people who happen to possess enough of this world's good to make life comfortable are thereby unholy. Yeah, see? I think that is an absolute misuse of religion. So, okay. It is the divine will that we should receive. But since we are individuals, even the divine will cannot compel us to receive that which we refuse to accept. There's that free will thing. It can't make us receive what we're not willing to. Therefore, our part in the divine givingness is to have faith and to cooperate with the law of abundance. In the beginning means before any particular creation takes place. Before our request was made, in the beginning, before the treatment was given, the state of being already existed, which made possible the fulfillment of our desires. There are no prior conditions to impose themselves upon the creation of our desire. One of the ways that I came to terms with treating as if I already have it was that idea. Whatever it is that I'm asking for already exists in the mind of God. It may not exist in the material plane yet, but it already exists in the mind of God. Therefore, I can pray as if I already have it because it already exists. And then I get to take the steps that I'm directed to take to help create it in the material plane. So it's like, I don't have to invent the chicken. God's already done that. All I got to do is wait for it to hatch. The spirit is absolutely without limit. Nothing has ever imposed any restrictions upon it. It knows no limitation, no limiting circumstances. We impose bondage out of our belief. We impose the bondage of our belief upon the law. Okay. Yep. We get in our own way, is basically what that's saying. This is why it is written, so we see that they could not enter in because of unbelief, and because they limited the Holy One of Israel. In this way, our unbelief becomes our acceptance. Our fear becomes a misplaced faith. We are bound by the very power which alone could free us. It's like, go back to the Einstein quote that I like. Worry is a misuse of imagination. Well, fear is a misuse of faith. We should likewise remember that the creative law is one of reciprocity, of reciprocal action, and that it responds by reflection. Since our imaging in its restrictions, since our imaging in it restricts our use of it to the things we image or to our expectation, it follows that to secure better results, we must re-image. Create a new faith, increase our receptivity, enlarge our mental concept, and maintain a more enthusiastic expectation. When we do this, we are starting a new chain of cause and effect. And that's super important. That's why I got all excited, because everybody knows about the sower. You reap what you sow. But I didn't realize that there was another part to that idiom, or that Bible quote, actually. And you will continue to reap as you have sown. So if you are reaping something that you don't want, then you need to go back and make a different choice of what you're sowing. What are you planting? And that's when I went, oh, okay. There's a follow-up to that. Yeah, you reap what you sow, and you have the power to choose what you are planting. and you have the power to make a new choice. Believe in divine givingness. Believe that it is the divine will that you should receive this divine givingness, and then consciously accept it. And that right there, that's why I say that one of the drum beats of science of mind is consciousness, consciousness, consciousness. That's why I say it's all holy all the time, but it's up to us to consciously enter into that mindset. Okay? So then consciously accept it. This sounds simple, but the meaning is profound and describes a perfect method of procedure. Frequently, when we reduce an abstract thought to a simple statement, we feel that we have lost its significance. Such is not the case. The wisest man who ever lived said, "As thou hast believed, so be it done unto thee." That would be Jesus. Thus, Jesus laid down a law of faith for those who could not understand the working of the law, knowing that all who complied with the law would receive a direct benefit, even though they did not completely understand its intricate mechanisms. And see, that's the good news. We don't have to understand how it works to use it, because we've been doing it the whole time. But the better understanding that we have, we will make a better use of it. Okay? Not every person who drives an automobile is an electrician or a mechanical engineer, but it has been planned for them that they could do certain simple things and get certain results. They can drive a car and they can get somewhere in it. So Jesus understood that even blind faith, based more or less on superstition, was still an affirmative attitude in the law. He knew that the law, which is perfect, is freedom, givingness, and must reply to faith. However, it is better when faith becomes understanding, for then that faith becomes perfect. Now, you can use the word perfect, or I'll just say, like I just said, you'll make a better use of it. You will make better decisions. You will make a better use of this law. This is the secret of the answer to prayer throughout the ages. Few people have any conscious knowledge of what must take place as a result of their prayer. They have faith in God, hence their receivingness fulfills the divine givingness. Law and faith come together. The bowl of acceptance is held up, and the outpouring of spirit is measured into the individual experience according to the law of mental equivalence, which says that whatever we inwardly conceive, we outwardly experience. This is because the external is merely a reflection of the internal. Okay. Whew. Faith is not trying to compel the mind to accept anything which it denies. It is merely causing the mind to see why it may believe in that which it affirms. All we have to do is look about on nature to reassure ourselves that there is a creative power at work and that the entire physical universe proceeds from an invisible source. Jesse's been talking a lot about the invisible source. Everything that we have came from the invisible. It's about time we stopped being scared of it. It is evident that the seen comes out of the unseen in accord with law, and it is equally evident that the creative principle can express itself only in terms of the instrument through which it flows. In our case, the instrument is our faith, belief, and acceptance, mental equivalent, spiritual embodiment, understanding of the meaning of the words we use in treatment, which is why it's super important to use words that are meaningful to you. Which is why when we do treatments for other people, what we want to do, that's why we have conversations with clients beforehand so that we can use their words. I can use all the words that I want, but if my words aren't meaningful to them, if I'm doing a treatment for them, I mean, if they're not sitting in front of me, if they're not sitting in front of me, I can use whatever words I want because, I'm treating myself about them. But if we're going to do a treatment out loud or we write treatments, then we want to use words that are meaningful to them, especially if they're going to repeat the treatments later. We want to use words that are meaningful to them. All right. Our mental attitude towards the divine givingness should be simple and direct. This is why we like to say this is a simple faith, but not an easy faith. We are to accept the gift. It's well and good to ask for it, but if we're not willing to accept it, what are we even doing? We are to look forward to it with anticipation and with enthusiastic attention. We are to maintain an inner joy, and why not? If we are to realize that the divine givingness is the gift of a perfect law of liberty forever made, and if the divine will is the outpouring of the Spirit into self-expression through us, let us then receive the gift. All right. That was a good one. That was a really good one. I enjoyed that one. I hope you did too. And tomorrow we are going to tackle the divine forgiveness, which is extremely important. So I think, I don't know. Yesterday the transference one was like, what? Today it was clear, it was precise, it was concise, and I love it. All right. That means we have 12 more to go, and then we'll move on to the next book. Okay, beloved. So now I'm going to encourage you to have a great day, a wondrous day, a fantastic day, a magical day, an enchanted day, a wonderful day, an awesome day, an amazing day, a dance in the rain if you get some day, a stay out of the thunder and lightning day, a drink plenty of water day, a take care of yourself day, a take a break day, a take a nap day, a make sure you take the stuff for your nose day. Subtle reminder to myself. We're getting close to time that I need to take something. Remember that it's all gonna be okay day. A let's wrap this week up day. A you got this day. A cuddle your fur babies day. A tell somebody you love them day. A I think I'm running out of words day. A good day. And if that's too much pressure, because occasionally it is, I get it. Simply have a day. You are enough, just as you are. You're a beloved expression of the divine. Your spirit in motion, God in action. A brilliant light and a divine spark, a spirit in motion, God in action, a beautiful masterpiece, and a work in progress at the same time, at your own pace. Very important part. Don't bother to compete with anybody else on your masterpiece. As Reverend Jesse likes to call us, you are a godling. All right? Explore the truth of your being. Get to know who the divine knows you to be. Because the divine knows you to be good. And from there, anything is possible. All right, beloveds. I'm going to go rest. Rest my voice here. Take care of yourself. Oh, wait. Reverend David will be on around 5 p.m. with you. I will be back with you around 9-ish tomorrow. I do intend to go to the park tomorrow. Hopefully by tomorrow this will be most of the way gone, if not all the way gone. Take care of yourself. Know that you are loved, and I will see you next time.